Just find a comfortable seat on our mat. And I forgot to mention another handy prop to have nearby is a pillow or a blanket. If you don't have that today, that's okay. But it's nice to have a pillow to kind of sit up on and have your hips a little bit raised. A blanket can also be used if you fold up a blanket. And once you find a comfortable seat, you can sit cross-legged. And then we're going to sit up nice and tall. Think about your posture. You want your shoulders down and away from your ears. You can think about your chest lifting towards the ceiling. You can rest your palms in your lap, palms facing up. And then just close your eyes. Take a few breaths here and get centered on your mat. And this class is really a special hour of your day to connect with yourself, with your body, with your mind, and leave everything else out the door. It'll be there when class is over, I promise. And we're going to start with a little breathing exercise. So this is a 4-count breathing. We're going to start by inhaling through our nose for a count of 4. We'll pause at the top for 1 count, and then exhale through your nose for the count of 4. Pause at the bottom and repeat. I'll guide us through the first few rounds, and then I'll let you go at your own pace. And we'll begin by just taking a nice exhale out the mouth. Just release all your stale air. And then we'll begin with an inhale through your nose for 1, 4, stop at the top for 1, and then exhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, pause at the bottom, again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause for 1, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause at the bottom, again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and continue at your own pace. Feeling your lungs expand on each inhale, releasing any stale air on the exhale, grounding down into your mat. A few more rounds, feel your spine grow long as you inhale. And wherever you are, 1 more breath, and we'll meet at the bottom of your next exhale. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, and we'll take our right leg and stretch it out long in front of you. The left knee will stay bent, just relaxed on the ground. And then begin to walk your fingers towards the shin, ankle, foot of your right foot. Wherever it lands is fine. You can keep a bend in your knee as well. And just fold forward over your extended right leg. Allow your forehead to drop down. Breathe into your right hamstring. Good, and then slowly walk your hands back up, and we'll trade out our legs. Left leg comes long, right knee bent. Same thing. You can keep a bend in your knee if you need, and walk your hands towards your left ankle or shin or foot. Fold over your extended left leg. Drop your forehead down and breathe into your left hamstring. Good, and then press yourself back up. And we'll take both of our legs in front of us now. Both legs are straight, feet together. And then we'll walk our hands towards our ankles, shins, or feet into a forward fold. Drop your forehead one more time, breathing into the back of your legs. Using your breath to release any tension in your body. Good, and then walk your fingers back up. We're going to do a little twist here. So for this next one, we'll bend the right knee and place the sole of your right foot on the mat just next to your inner thigh of your left leg. So now your right knee is bent and it's pointing up towards the ceiling. Your left leg is straight out in front of you. Flex through your left toes so that you have an active foot. And then we're going to twist to the right. You can take your right hand and place it behind you on the ground. You can stay up on your right fingertips and then hook your left elbow around the front of the right knee or shin. So you have some leverage here to help twist you to the right. Your back hand is kind of acting like a kickstand. Prop yourself up on your right fingertips. Twist to the right. Gaze over the back right shoulder. You have your left elbow hooked around the front of the right knee. You might be able to get a little more leverage there. A few more breaths. Good, and then slowly come back to center and we'll switch out our legs. The right leg will come straight, left knee bent. Hook the right elbow around the front of the left knee. Place the left hand behind you and we'll twist to the left. Gaze over the back left shoulder. Flex through the right foot. Use your left fingertips to press down into the ground and lift through the crown of your head. Feel your spine nice and long here. Nice posture as you twist. Good, and then slowly release and find a comfortable seat one more time. You can cross your legs. We're just going to do some little wrist stretches here. So we'll start by, it doesn't matter which hand, you're going to take the hand of one and kind of press the fingertips back to stretch out the inside of your wrist. So one hand presses on the other to press the fingers back. You should feel stretch in the front of your wrist. And then the opposite of that would be to try to stretch the top of your wrist where you would wear a watch. So you would need to press down on the top of the palm in order to do that. Whatever you need to do to stretch out your wrists, because we are going to be getting on our hands and knees and the wrists tend to get a little stiff. And then go ahead and just do some wrist circles. Those of you not in Santa Barbara might not get my Fiesta references, but I always say we have to get our flamenco hands ready for Fiesta, because they do these little like flamenco finger twirls. Oh, I like Mike. He's got the arms and everything. Woo! Love it. Okay, shake them out. Nice. And then relax your hands down in your lap, and we're just going to do some shoulder rolls. So we're going to shrug our shoulders up towards our ears and back down, up and down in circles, kind of backward circles to start. Loosening your shoulders, your back. There's really no right or wrong to any of this, by the way. For those of you who are new, you'll get to see that I'm pretty silly in this class, actually just in general, but also the point here is to just get your body moving, stretching, breathing, loosening, relaxing. And we are going to build some strength too. Things will start to get more challenging as the semester goes on, but today I don't want to scare anyone away, so we're going to make it nice and easy sneezy. Okay, forward shoulder rolls. Good. And then we're going to leave our shoulders alone now and do our neck. So let's turn our head to the right. So your chin is going to be aligned over the right shoulder. Turning your gaze all the way over to the right. Take a few breaths there. And then we'll switch and turn our head all the way to the left. Chin over left shoulder. Good, and then gaze back to center, and we're going to do the side of our neck. For this, you're going to take the right ear and drop it down to the right shoulder. This is going to stretch the left side of your neck. Be gentle here with your neck. It's tender little piece of our body. And if it's like mine, super stiff. Ouch. And then come back and we'll do left ear to left shoulder. Remember to use your breath here to help release the tension. Good, and then just some little neck rolls. Clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever feels good, kind of loosening the neck here by rolling it out. Moving slowly and mindfully. You can even pause if you find a juicy little spot that you want to work out. All right, nice. Okay, when you're done, we're going to come on to our hands and knees. So tabletop position. And this is where I sometimes recommend that you have a blanket underneath your knees if your knees are tender. But now that we have these super cush mats, maybe we don't even need a blanket. So once you're on your hands and knees, you want to get the alignment by making sure your hands are directly under your shoulders. Fingertips are nice and spread out nice and wide. Then your knees are going to be directly under your hips. You can curl the back toes under for a little more support. This is tabletop. I'll probably be having you guys just come to tabletop. So if I just say tabletop, now you know. And from here, let's just start to move our hips from left to right. I like to call this the guide dog tail. Helena and Martinez, this is for you. So we're just shaking our hips left and right, loosening our hips, and then we're going to start some circles with our hips. So you can start out clockwise. Believe it or not, this is an orientation mobility class, and clockwise is very much used in orientation. So if you don't know clockwise, if you're starting up at the top, you want your hips to go to the right, down, left, and back up like a clock space. And then we're going to do counterclockwise. So go ahead and shift that to go opposite. Nice. You can get them as big or as little as you want. Just loosening the hips, and then we'll meet back in tabletop. Neutral position. And this next one is another guide dog. Well, I don't know. I was going to make another joke, but my brain's not quite there yet. So we're going to just go with the guide dog fire hydrant pose. We're going to lift, kind of hover the right knee and entire shin and foot off the ground. And then you're going to swing the right knee out to the side and back down. This is why it's called fire hydrant. So you're lifting and lowering the right knee, swinging it out to the side and down. And this is we're doing this repeatedly for about 10, if you can, 10 to 15 on the right. So again, the knee swings out to the side and then back down, and it stays hovering off the ground as you do this. And I think I'm seeing most of you, the newbies are the ones I'm concerned of. So I'm gonna maybe give some feedback if I'm noticing anything, but I can't quite see on the video. It looks pretty good. So keep track of your repetitions. If you've done 10, that feels good, you should feel a burn in the outer right hip and glute. We're building strength here in our glutes. Once you've done the right side, we'll do the same thing on the left. So you'll lift the left knee off the ground and swing the left knee out to the side and back down for another 10. Remembering to breathe. And once you've done 10 on both sides, you've done it. So come up onto your knees when you're done. I call this standing on your knees. You're basically just going to lift up, resting on your knees. Your torso comes up, and we're going to now step our right foot forward, coming into like a high lunge. You'll be resting on the sole of your right foot. Most of you have got it. So you gotta take that right foot and step it forward so that you're resting on the foot now of the right. There you go. Your hands can now rest on the top of your right thigh. Your torso is upright. There you go. And then we're going to lean our hips forward, and you should feel a stretch in your hip flexor here. So if you shift your weight kind of a little more forward, you'll feel a stretch in the front of the left hip. You can curl the back toes under or rest the top of the foot down, whatever feels good. It does take a little balance for this. So if you feel a little wobbly, take the front foot and bring it a little further out to the side. You have a wider stance. And we'll just breathe here for a few more breaths. And if your knee is tender, this is where you can put a little blanket under the left knee. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. So we'll step the right foot back, coming back onto your knees. And then we'll step the left foot forward. Rest your hands on the top of the left thigh, and then kind of shift your weight forward, shift your hips forward, leaning into the front knee. Feel a stretch in the front of the right hip flexor. Okay, nice. And then from here, we're going to all gracefully make our way to standing. So however you want to get up onto your 2 feet. And take a little water break if you want. And I'm really bummed because I don't have my amazing audio system in place for everyone. So we're gonna have to just think about our favorite song right now, or if you have music, play it, because we got 2 birthdays in the house. They say it's your birthday. Okay, well, we missed one birthday. Carly, not to get you embarrassed, but it was your birthday on the 2nd, and we do birthday dances in this class.
Thank you.
We also have a birthday this Friday, Sherry, on the 7th. So in order to celebrate, what do we do in this class? We dance. So go. We're basically just dancing and getting crazy. And normally I have music, and I'm really annoyed that I don't have that set. So maybe I just need to put it on. But it takes a little while to warm up. So while we just wiggle in place, does anyone have any song requests? birthday girls? If you do, let me know. And otherwise, you're going to be victim to whatever I put on, which tends to be kind of random. Let me think. What do we have today for a birthday song? Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. I don't know. This might be a song that brings you back to the 70s. It makes you want to dance really weird. I don't think you're going to be able to hear it, though, through my phone. Dang. Let me see. I turned on my speaker. Oh, yes. I got it. I don't know if anyone's hearing this but me. Doesn't matter. This is also a great chance for you to just let go of all insecurities, because no one's watching except for me, and who cares, right? Okay, my music is not working so well, but I'm gonna say you all did a great job, and I love your dance moves. Keep it up. And I think my son is about to catch a ride to school, so keep dancing while I say goodbye to my son. Really? Are you on? Okay. Love you, bye, Bill. All right. My class is still here. My son is gone. We are good. All right, guys. Thanks for entertaining me. We are now going to move into some balance and strengthening exercises. So this is where you may want to find a wall or possibly a piece of furniture if it's stable, like a chair. Maybe even a sofa could work, maybe even a dresser. But some of you may not need the wall or the balancing thing at all, and some might need it for certain poses, but just have something nearby for these. We're going to start off with heel raises. So for the heel raises, your feet are going to be hip width distance apart, and you're just going to lift up onto your toes and lower back down. So you're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. You lift your heels and you lower back down for about 20 repetitions. You're going to build strength in your calves for this. And if you need to balance on something, feel free to hold on. Otherwise, you can just relax your hands down or at your hips. Think about your posture as you're doing this as well. for those of you who have weights, you could even make it even more challenging by holding on to weights or makeshift weights like water bottle jugs. All right, I lost track of my 20. I'm going to base this off of Bob. I'm looking at Bob. I think Bob's still going, so I'm going to still go too. And then after we have heel raises, we're going to do some leg raises. So we're going to start with the right leg, and you may want to be holding on to a table or a chair or a wall. You're going to lift your right leg out to the side, both your feet face forward. You're just going to lift your right leg out to the side and back down, lift and lower for a set of 10. Try to keep your torso steady. You don't want to move your torso as you do this. Keep a steady torso. Lift and lower your right leg. And you're using the strength of your standing leg here as well to lift and lower, and you're balancing. So this is kind of a tricky one. If you're not holding on, I'd be surprised. Add in vision loss and you're really amazing to be able to do this without holding on. So I suggest that you hold on unless you're like some sort of crazy athlete. So everyone's got 10 on the right, and then go ahead, shift to the left. We're going to do the same thing. Lift your left leg up and down for a set of 10. And if you do 10 and it's way too easy, feel free to do more. But remember, I don't want to scare anyone away today, so I'm just saying, do 10. Some of my class that was with me all through last semester, we build up to like multiple sets. So they're probably expecting that I say, do this another 15 sets, but nope, just one today. All right, you've done both sides. Let me know. We're gonna move on to forward leg lifts. So for the next one, it's gonna be a similar action, but the leg swings forward and up, almost like you're kicking the leg in front of you. And you're gonna lift the leg. It's probably not gonna go very high, however high you can by keeping the leg straight and then lowering it back down, or same thing, set of 10 on each side. Whoa, things just got really hot in my room. Drink some water if you need it. All right, and then wherever you're at, make sure you're standing up nice and tall as you do this. Lift and lower the right leg and the left for a set of 10 on each side. Keep the foot flexed, engage the hamstring. Leg stays straight-ish. I don't mind if there's a slight bend in the leg, but you really want to try to keep the leg straight as possible. Good. And so once you've done 10 on both sides, take a moment, check in. You need water, grab it. And then we're just going to roll out our ankles. Start with the right leg and lift up onto the right toes and just circle out your ankles. Circles. You can roll over onto the front of the toes. And then do the left ankle. I just realized I had a fan and I didn't even have it on. So if you have a fan in your room, maybe you want to turn it on. Airflow. Okay. Now this next one is going to be possibly something you need to hold on to, because you are going to be standing on one leg and you're going to be bending one knee to kick the foot towards your glute. We'll start with the right leg. So you're going to be balancing on the left leg as you kick the right heel back towards your glute. Your right knee bends and straightens as you kind of, it's almost like a butt kicker type move. And we're going to do 10 on the right and then 10 on the left. Remember, you can always do more of it. Try to aim for 10 if you are having trouble with the number. This is working the hamstrings, back of your leg. All right, and then switch it up if you haven't already. Do the left side. You can always do another set if you want. Give you a few more minutes, or not minutes, moments. Finish up for those of you who are still doing the left side. And then once you're done, we're going to do some arm work. I like to call these the Y's and the W's. So we're going to start out with the Y's. So most of us know the whole YMCA dance. So you're going to put your arms up in the Y position. Arms are straight up towards the ceiling, biceps alongside your ears, palms facing one another. Then for your legs, you want them about hip width distance, feet parallel. Slightly bend your knees, almost like you're sitting down in a little stool. You're going to lean forward. So you want your chest to come a little bit forward and down towards the ground. Gaze down. And then here's where the action is going to be in your arms. Think about pressing your arms back. They're not going to go back very far, and then release. So press and release, press and release. Arms stay straight up the whole time alongside your ears, and you're just kind of pressing the arms back and release. So they stay in a Y position the whole time. And if you had someone press your arms back behind you, that's kind of the position, they're the direction they're going. It's kind of an awkward thing, but you should be feeling this in your shoulders, your back. And if you can do 10 to 20 of these without dropping your arms, that's great. And some of you, I think, are doing the next one, which is W's, but we'll see. It's fine. If you have your own version of whatever this is for you, we're going to drop our arms once you've done 10 to 20, shake it out, and then we're going to transition into the W's. So for the W's, we'll start out with, I like to call these cactus arms or goalpost arms. So your arms are going to be 90-degree bend, palms face out. Think of yourself as a goalpost or cactus. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing with your legs as you did in the Y's. Feet hip width distance, slight bend, slightly lean forward. And then the action in your arms this time is to lift your arms straight up, palms face out, arms are now parallel, and then lower back to goalpost arms. So if your hands are like on, think about, I think I told a student once this, if you had your hands on a window and they were sliding up and down on the window. We're going to do this for 10 to 20. If you're not feeling it already, I'd be surprised. You're going to feel this in your shoulders. Woo! These are the W's. It helps to have your knees bent and a slight kind of lean forward for this. It activates your back in a different way. And once you're done with 20 of those, 10 to 20, however many, go ahead and drop your arms down by your side and shake it out. It's always hard because in in-person classes, I can hear people's breathings and moanings and gruntings. So since I don't hear anything, I just feel, okay, everything's cool. But maybe not. Maybe you guys are struggling. You all look good to me, so we're going to keep going. Arm's going to come out now to a T, and we're going to do some circles, just arm circles. Let's start with backward arm circles. Wow, this class went by fast. We're going to have to transition back down to our mat soon. This will be our last standing pose. And then forward circles with your arms. Nice job, everyone. And then we'll make our way down onto our mats. This is, I guess, kind of like a cool down part of class. We're going to slow things down. We're going to come onto our backs. We're going to start out laying on your backs. We'll take our knees in towards our chest. Hug your arms around the front of your shins so you're creating like a little ball here, and just rock from side to side. So hug your knees in towards your chest, hands clasped around the front of your shins, rock from side to side. If you can, try to clasp your hands around the front of your legs, front of your shins. Your head is resting on the ground as you do this, and you're giving yourself a little rock. Nice job. And then from here, we're going to allow our left leg to come all the way down on the ground, extended straight. The right knee is going to be bent, and you're going to clasp your hands around the front of the right shin. Head is resting on the ground. We're just squeezing the right knee in towards the outside of our right hip. I'm distracted now by my cat. Oh, 1 second. Kitty. Okay, locked my cat. Locked my kid and my cat out. All right, now we'll drop the right leg and squeeze the left knee in towards the outside of our outside of our left rib cage. So our hands are interlaced around the front of the left shin. Squeeze the knee towards the outside of the left rib cage. The right leg is straight, relaxed on the mat. Head is relaxed on the mat. You might even slightly tuck your chin towards your chest. A few more breaths here. Good. And then we're going to bend both of our knees and rest the soles of our feet flat on the mat. I call this one the windshield wiper. So we're going to drop both of our knees all the way to the left. Allow your arms to come out wide to a T, palms face the ceiling. Knees are both dropped all the way to the left. And then lift them back up and drop them all the way to the right. And that's the windshield wiper. So continue to lift and lower your knees to one side. So it's a nice little gentle twist on your spine. And then we'll meet back with our knees centered, knees are bent. This next one is bridge pose. So for bridge pose, we want to make sure we get our alignment correct to start. So your knees are bent, feet flat on the ground, about hip width distance. I want you to take your hands down by your side and see if you can dust the back of your heels with your fingertips. If you can't, you might need to scoot your hips forward or back. This is the alignment piece. So you're resting on your back, knees are bent, your hands are alongside, down on the mat. And now that you can feel the backs of your heels, you know that you're in the right position here. So from here, for bridge pose, you're going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling. To do that, you're going to need to press your hands down into the mat, press your feet down, lift your hips. Your head is resting on the mat as you do this. You can squeeze your inner thighs to engage your inner thighs and glutes. You can stay lifted or you can lower back down and repeat. If you stay lifted, you have to kind of engage your muscles longer, which will create a little more fatigue, but they're just different. If you want a dynamic pose where you're moving or a more static pose, you're moving, you're going to lift up and exhale, lower back down. Nice job, everyone. So remember, your head is down on the ground and you're just lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Engage your glutes and your inner thighs. Bridge pose. Once you're done, we'll lower all the way down and we'll transition into our supine twist. So for the twist, we're going to drop our left leg down, flat on the ground. Take your right knee, hug it towards your chest to start. And then you're going to guide that right knee across your body and over to the left. Take your right arm, bring it out wide to a T. You can have your left hand resting on the outside of the right knee if that helps you to guide the knee down towards the ground. So we're twisting our spine now in opposite directions. As the right knee twists to the left, the right shoulder is opening to the right. You can send your gaze towards the extended right arm. And if your mind is totally scrambled right now, for those newbies, that's okay. You'll get this as the class progresses over time. I am guaranteed I'll be doing this every class. This pose is one of my favorites, supine twist. So, and if you don't know your rights from your lefts, that's okay. You'll learn that too. Okay, coming back to center, we'll switch out our legs. Right leg comes down, squeeze the left knee in, and then guide that left knee across your body into the right. Extend your left arm out wide, palm faces the ceiling. Turn your head towards your extended left arm. You can take the right hand on the outside of the left knee to help guide the knee down so that you're twisting your spine, wringing it out. Breathe. Nice, and then we'll come back to center and give yourself one final hug by squeezing your knees in towards your chest, hands interlace around the front of the knees or shins, rock from side to side. And the best part of class is our final pose, Shavasana. This is known as corpse pose because you basically are going to lie here, still as can be, as if you were a corpse. Nothing you need to do other than just lie on your back, close your eyes, and the one difference between you and the corpse is that we're breathing. So we're going to tap back into our breath. Hands along your side. You can take up as much space as you need to on your mat. This is a time for you to get comfortable. Take a moment if you need to find a pillow or anything to allow yourself to really relax here in these final moments of class. With your eyes closed, we're breathing, tapping back into our breath. You may even want to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach, connecting with the rise and fall of each breath. I'm going to allow you to stay in this pose for a moment or two in silence, giving you a chance to connect with your body and your breath. And then I'll guide you back out. So if you don't hear me for a moment, that's okay. Go ahead and breathe. And you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend your knees and place the soles of your feet back on the mat. Take a breath there, moving nice and slow. You'll roll over to one side and press yourself back up to seated. Taking your time, there's no rush. And once you find yourself back in a comfortable seat, you can keep your eyes open. Congratulations, survived your first balance and mobility class.
Yay, Brianna!